Welcome to another episode of Rusted Up Garage. I want to take a minute and remind you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And today we're going to discuss Plan E. What happened to Plan A? You guys know, you've seen the video. Plan B also consisted with that car. Plan C was get another car. That didn't make no sense at all because it just didn't make sense. Then we were on Plan D, which was drive my truck again like we did for Sick Week, and I'm like, no! We're on a hot rod power tour, not drive my truck power tour. So we got Plan E, okay? You guys remember the Wagon? It's my very first video. You can go all the way to the bottom of that list, bring her on up. And, we did a pretty good walk around of the car and pulled the motor. But what I decided was, since we have a short 3 weeks to go, and obviously we weren't going to get the 55 done because the motor's still at the machine shop, despite it being freaking 4 months. Sorry, going off schedule here. So I brought out the old Wagon, the old Oldsmobile Wagon. Now some of you old guys are gonna, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do this, and I hate to do this, but this is my option, okay? Some of you guys are gonna get a little upset who are Oldsmobile guys, but I promise you it's not what's gonna stay in here, it's just what's gonna stay in here for Hot Rod Power Tour. So what we have here is a 1988 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser, okay? Again, go watch the beginning video. She's a real brute, Clark. It's kind of leading to where we're going with this thing. But let me get up here. See, we've done deleted on some of the stuff. We bring her in over here, Zach. Let's have a little family discussion. So what we did was we made some room over here for some headers. It was taking up too much space, so I wish I would have got it on the old bleep bloop camera thingy, whatever machine over there. But I took a sledgehammer and basically I removed on this section to make some room. So now I gotta patch that hole in, which I'm gonna do here in probably another hour or 2 or 3 or maybe more. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do it soon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete on everything we don't need, non-necessity stuff under here. I mean, we don't need whatever was here, and we don't need all the wiring that was here, and we don't need the air thing there, and we need brakes. We need an engine. Now, just happen to have an engine that we built on the channel. As a matter of fact, again, if you go to the bottom and hit the old watchy watch button, we built a nice 400 horse 350.
Actually, I don't know if they've actually seen that.
They may not have. Maybe we didn't share that video.
No, we
didn't. I
didn't.
know some videos fly, but anyway, so we built one for Mason's truck. So,
how about we just introduce them to it?
Yeah, let's just do this. Ready, Zach? So what we got here is, well, we got the transmission out of the Jaguar. But what we have here, sitting here, is brand new. $350. It's just sitting here, collecting dust. Because Mason hasn't finished his truck. So I was thinking to myself, what's the right thing to do here? We got a motor, we got a transmission, we got a car. Let's marry them together. We got ourselves Plan E, right here. She ain't gonna have air, but she has all the windows. All of them down through there. The interior on this thing is, I mean, it is high class mint, except for the dash is cracked. The rest of this interior is like brand new. I mean, it don't get much newer. So, we're gonna get everything stripped out. Then, we're gonna hopefully paint the top of it. Okay? Maybe some more wood grain. I gotta find some wheels and tires for it. Thinking side pipes. Because nothing says hot rod like side pipes. You know, just some rattly old side pipes. So I'm thinking. She has a 10 bolt. We'll probably open her up and lock her up. So we can do some burnouts. Because unlike the 55 that was originally gonna go, this old girl was gonna be built for drag racing. And it still is. This thing's supposed to be a twin turbo LS is what it's supposed to be when it's done. So this will just motivate me to, you know, get cranking on her. So I just want to introduce you to Plan E. I know we're switching gears. It is an Oldsmobile. Unfortunately, it's gonna be powered by Chevrolet. Apologize, apologize. But we're gonna get cranking. We got about 2 weeks. And I still have to work my regular job. But I feel that if we work until midnight, 1 o'clock every night for the next 2 weeks, I think we can have this old girl running for you. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to start removing on stuff because I need to get this thing cleaned up and ready. So tomorrow it can be washed again up underneath the hood and I can rejuvenate on some of it. You know, I got some stuff in there. I'm going to we're gonna rejuvenate underneath the hood. So when we pop her up, people are like, that looks like new. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's because it is. So, but there we are. I want to bring you guys up to speed. Don't worry, the Oldsmobile 55 is still gonna get built. You just have to give us a couple more weeks, maybe 3 or 4, because we're waiting on the engine. As soon as we can get the engine, we're gonna build the engine on the video. And then we'll get the engine in, we're gonna build the exhaust, and the 55 is gonna be a cruiser. It's gonna be a fun car. I can't wait for that car. But until then, this little girl's going to Hot Rod Power Tour, whether she likes it or not. And she's probably gonna not. But we're gonna take her anyway. Hang on for this ride, it's gonna be a good one. Okay, so now you've been on time lapse for a minute as we've been, deleting on the stuff we don't need. And you remember from the first video, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I think it had a 307 in it. So, we didn't save the motor mounts or anything because, why would we do that? Because we're going to LS swap it. Of course, now we're not. Well, we are, but we're not right now. So, I got to move and put the small block motor mounts in this thing. Now, any of you guys have ever worked on these cars, you know, basically to get to those mounts, you got to pull the whole front end off because the two bolts are up in this cradle in here. So, it's kind of worked out because this thing is super dirty. I mean, it's not like as bad as the 55, but it's still pretty bad.
They can't see down there.
Plus, it's giving us, here, see, look. Plus, it's also giving us a chance to look at all the front end pieces because I'm going to bring my family in this thing and drive 1,200 miles. So, I need a few things to be safe. If it was just me, I wouldn't necessarily worry about all the parts. But since I'm going to have them with me, I want to make sure, the ball joints are going to fall out of it. The wheel bearings ain't going to come out from underneath it. Maybe it has brake pads. That would be handy. So it kind of just works anyways. And honestly, replacing a few parts on this thing is pretty cheap and easy. I can just get them from, the local parts store. They're going to have upper and lower ball joints, tie rod ends, and then they're not expensive to do. So I'm going to finish, I'm going to blow this side apart. We did take the spindle off, so I can rebuild the bearings. We got rid of the dust shields because, where we're going, we don't need those. And we've pretty much stripped everything that we don't need off the car, inside the engine bay and all that, with the heater and all that. So that's all done. So now I'm going to just blow this side apart so I can get to the motor mount bolts. And then I can get the motor mounts changed, and then I'll put the front end right back together. And then I'm probably just going to do a little rejuvenation, on it. Just make it look new. That's what I'm thinking. And put it together and get that motor crammed in it. I mean, my goal is probably Monday night having the motor sitting in this car. It's kind of where I'm thinking. So, it's the weekend now. I do have a graduation party for my son. And, but, it's cooler at night, so we'll be working at night anyways. If I get this blown apart tonight, I think that's going to be good for tonight. And then tomorrow, I'll go get the motor mounts, and we'll get them swapped in. And any front end part I want to change, we'll get those while I'm there, clean these front end parts up, and reassemble the front end. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you what we're doing. So I'm going to go ahead and start blowing this apart. I do know, I can tell that there's a little bit of wear. For sure, the pitman arm's bad. I can tell you that for sure. I think it has a bad ball joint or two too, lower. So it's easy enough to change them. They're not expensive. So I'm just going to probably just replace on just those parts. But I guess that I'm going to grab, I need to get my hammer and a couple other things, and we'll get this thing, we'll start blowing this thing apart. Now watch where you're swinging. We only got one camera. True that.
So you don't want to be taking them out.
True that.
I mean, we gotta film power tour. They're gonna want to see it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Nice thing is a car will be big enough you can bring friends.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna have plenty of room for activities, that's for sure. I wish we were gonna have air, but I don't think the 55 would have been having air anyways, because if you remember, we're putting that AC together in that thing, and I got everything done outside, but I couldn't build an AC bracket for it until I actually got the car engine in. So that was another thing, is I had to build a bunch of brackets and stuff. So either way, I don't think I was gonna make that happen. Let's just hope it don't rain. That would suck. doing is taking them all the way off, and then I'm running them back in a couple threads, because, you know, we're going to do the dangerous stuff. Basically beat on this thing.
Which we really shouldn't show them, but maybe we will.
See, just pop the lower one. Okay. Now, I pop the top one.
Now you sweep up the mess. Oh, you show them this, Jim?
This is the freeze plug out of that 307 that we were hunting down. Remember we were missing one? That was one of them that it blew out, obviously.
We found it.
So we're basically jacking it up, putting some pressure on it. And then I'm going to take the nuts off, right here, the upper and lower ball joint nut. And we're going to lift up the A-frame, the upper A-frame, pull the spindle out, and then pull the spindle off. So now she's pretty much just free. Now, these things are really stuck. I may have to do something about that. I'm just not sure what yet. And then I'm going to take the grinder and I'm going to grind off the nut on the shock, because the shock...
Currently the jack is the only thing stopping that spring from flying out.
Yeah, basically we got the shock and that, and I'm going to cut the shocks, and then we just have that. So now we just have the jack, basically. Now you can tell, you know, these are good by, you know, the way they are. I know they're shocking on this thing, so I'm going to put shocks on it. So now we're going to stand back after in a second. Hold on, Zach. Get the hammer. I got my hammer and my pry bar's over there, but we're going to lower down slowly from the safety side of the camera. Slowly down, Zach. Go ahead, bring her down. Bring her down. Yeah, bring her on down. Yeah, keep on coming. Yeah. Now we're just going to hit it a few times. And get it down here where, you know, it's safe. So we're coming here with a pry bar, and I'm just going to, you know, pry the spring up out of it now. Like that. And now it's safe. There's no pressure on the spring now. So I'll just, you know, ease her on out of there. Like that. I know there's a rubber up here, so I'll take him out. And, yeah, that ball bench toast. The uppers are still good, but the lowers are definitely toast. For sure. Ooh, freaking bushes. I'm sure you just put A-frames on it. Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the air gun here, and we're going to pop out these two bolts and these two bolts, get the lower A-frame out of here, and then we can reach the motor mount bolts and get them out of there. Zach, we're going to need the old Ooga Tooga.
I need a lot more on this side. This side, believe it or not, is tighter.
Pull the socket off. Then you just pull the A-frame up like that. Now, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but the bolt is in there. There's one in there. So the bolts are right in there. Now we can get a wrench in there.
Yeah, they can't quite see.
And pop those out. So that's probably going to be it for us for tonight. But
it's late.
It's getting late. We're going to do a little cleanup here and order up some parts for tomorrow morning. Go pick up some parts and start the reassembly process. So, like I said, this one we're not wasting no time on. We got about 2 weeks.
We have 24 days.
We got 24 days.
Until we need to be in Memphis.
Okay, so we have 24 days to have this car all done, and we're hoping to maybe even do a little specialness on the outside. So, a lot to do. So we're gonna pound through this stuff, get that motor in, and then we can start getting all that together. So, exciting times. It's gonna be good. You're gonna want to stick around for this one. Okay. I like to say okay. Okay? Welcome to an update of what we're doing here at Rusted Up Garage. I know this is the same video, but I'm gonna update you a little bit. Brought the car in, told you a story. Here's where we're at, okay? Zach's been stripping away at all the trim. Why? Because we're gonna paint on this thing. We're gonna make her look real nice. I have, stay right there. Have made this nice patch panel out of a Camaro roof. So that will, you know, when I finish cleaning her up, that'll go on here like this. She's gonna look new. Kind of what I'm saying. The suspension's gone. Sarah's, you know, working on stuff here, and the suspension's gone. Most of the trim's gone. We've got these pull door panels, so we can pull this trim, pull mirrors, 4 door handles, okay? Roof rack gone. Trim around the back windows, gone. Mainly because they were leaking, but also because we're gonna, you know, paint on it. The back hasn't really changed much. It's pretty much just as ugly as it was when you saw it last. We did pull drums off. It needs wheel cylinders and it needs axle seals. Big surprise. But you know what's nice about this Oldsmobile? It's a freaking Chevy Caprice, basically. And you can buy everything for a Chevy Caprice. Oh, the inside hasn't changed anything. You know, we've just been storing parts up in there. We're coming around, back around the front. Still missing the front end on this side. And then, you know, we have the whole engine bay in here. And as you can tell, it's still pretty nasty. But we've cleaned on it. And we've stripped everything that you don't need out of an 88 Olds. Or everything we feel we don't need. So the next thing we're gonna do is attach that panel on there that we roughly made out of some sheet metal skin. And we'll go ahead and give her the old Craigslist rebuild. And by that I mean, you know, in this area. So, if you guys are ready for some real Hollywood Rusted Up Garage movie magic, this engine bay is gonna go from this to its new look, just like this. And just like that. Movie magic at Rusted Up Garage. Look at this fine specimen of an automobile. Basically, we've rejuvenated on the whole engine bay. It's brand new. I mean, this thing is new. I mean, it's got a brand new steering box in now. It's got a brand new sway bar. It's got a brand new firewall. It's got a brand new window wiper motor. You can basically tell it's new by the way it looks. Now, we really, you know, I said we rejuvenated on it. She's got the Craigslist rebuild. We went through a little bit of paint, you know, but you know, you're gonna do that when you have to, you know, bring one of these babies back to life. You need some new parts. So we also got, you know, under the fender wells, we got all that, you know, basically rejuvenated as well. And once parts come in, we'll go ahead and bolt them on, but I think we're gonna cut this video off right here. I'm thinking the next project really is we're gonna, you know, take the motor and just put the old, you know, the old power in the old power barn. And I think we'll make that a different video. So I want to thank you for watching, following along on this brand new Hot Rod Power Tour Plan E. As we get her ready, we have 21 days and counting. And there's a lot to do. So stick with us. It's gonna be a crazy couple weeks. We're gonna pump out as much video as we can. Keep hitting the like, keep hitting the subscribe, keep sharing, and let's build this hot rod. Peace out.